When she was 17 years old, a man she had known for a while and who had given her enough proof that he was sexually attracted to her asked her to go and help him move. Apparently, he was moving into a new house. She is an adventurous person and she loved the idea of going places. She thought, why not? She had the time. When she was done preparing and went to the mirror to see all of her cleaned up, as she looked directly into her eyes, something inside of her said, do not go. For some reason, she knew this voice is to be obeyed, so she obliged. She happily went to the person and told him straight to his face, I am not going. The fury on his face was enough to turn his eyes to bloodshot red, and in that instant she knew the intention was probably not to organize his new house, but to reorganize her virginity. Everyone I have met has experienced this inner voice. For some, the voice was guiding them to study a particular topic for an upcoming exam, and they did not. For others, it stopped them from boarding an ill-fated bus that was later involved in an accident. Yet for others, the voice warned them against getting into a relationship prematurely, and they allowed their feelings to lead the way and paid the full price for dismissing that still small voice. This still small voice is therefore referred to as the spirit. Spiritual intelligence, therefore, is the ability to differentiate between our thoughts, our feelings, and that still small voice, and also cultivating the still small voice. Spirit is the difference between life and death, success and mediocrity, leadership and servitude. It is this still small voice that can and ought to protect individuals from pretend pastors and citizens from choosing a leader who spending the 5 next years wondering who bewitched them. Spiritual intelligence cannot be taught. It can only be experienced and then highlighted. It can be cultivated through meditation, fasting, and maintaining sexual purity. In sharing our experiences, we help another person become aware of their own still small voice. The conversations are to enable individuals to be more mindful of their own experience. Nancy Wangome says that the greatest lesson she has learned thus far in her life is that the still small voice is totally supreme. It is above her feelings and above logic, and also it is even above experience. A lot of people are guided by their past experience, which, if you really think about it, unless one is looking to replicate the past, one ought to simply draw the lesson from the past and let it go. We of course have failed miserably due to lack of this pristine knowledge. We have failed financially despite prior warning by the still small voice. We have failed in relationships due to dismissing the still small voice on account of the very intense feeling. This is the pain of disobeying the voice, and it's like no other. We came across Nancy Wangome, who is the she in our story and the CEO of Solving's coaching group, and she assures that she will provide resources in all formats and in all languages, and mostly in the most important matters of life. She is committed to making her 12 years of pain, suffering, and near-death experience count. Spiritual intelligence is therefore the awareness that there is a piece of God in all of us, a part of us that is omniscient. This is the essence, what I believe God meant when He said, let us make man in our own image and likeness. It is also what I know God was referring to when He said after creating man, it is good. Good in Hebrew language means perfect. Many people struggle with the idea that they are perfect. They are more comfortable with the concept of being weak, having fallen short of God's glory, which is what I have already highlighted as the danger of only seeing things through past experience. Adam and Eve made a mistake, and that came with consequences. I, however, do not believe that altered their God-given potential. Let's be practical. A student feels ill due to having inconsistent meals. He therefore is unable to attend school for 3 weeks and misses a record of 120 lessons. He returns to school on the eve of the end of term exam and decides to take the exams anyway. He scores a C minus. Is the C minus a permanent indicator of his academic capabilities? Of course, many people may not believe in this thought process. However, they owe it to themselves to put this still small voice on a test for sufficient amount of time to draw a sensible conclusion. Otherwise, without consciously giving this voice a fair chance, what can they really say for themselves? For the experiment to work, whoever chooses to test their still small voice need to be neutral. This will ensure objectivity. You can start off the experiment with bias. For example, the belief that man is not perfect, and then expect any objective findings. As a child and a young teenager, I will oblige to the voice, and I was safe. When my feelings raged against the still small voice, I let them lead and paid a hefty price for it. So, the idea is not just to obey the voice, disobey it as well, and experience first-hand consequences. Remember how I started the story, from darkness to light, from chaos to order. However, be warned that disobeying that voice can totally result in death.